is here. The champ 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 is here.
Fade, but I never can be faded. That's right, the Commiss Radio Show, the best radio show from Como to the Congo. And guess what's going on? Guess what's going on? You know, KHVN Heaven 97 is no longer in effect, but Ed Gray and the Commiss Radio Show is always affected by you, the community. So what we do for you is to give you the opportunity to tell us what's going on in our community. That's right, what's going on in our community. You know, I just left the African American Museum where Dr. Candace Bledsoe was giving a great presentation. You guys should have saw it. You should have been there. It was on white supremacy. So, you know, we talked about the normal stuff of white supremacy, you know, the lynchings, all that kind of stuff. It's horrible, isn't it? But you know what? You need to read about it. You need to read about it. And you need to see about it as well. You need to read about it in a book. There's plenty of books out there to be read. There's also plenty of books out there to be written. And perhaps you'll go ahead and read a book or write one for yourself this year. Angelo, I think we got a caller, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, what we got going on? Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am. How you doing, Ed?
Hey, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. You smiling. You got that smile. It worked just like I said it was going to work. But you know what's working like we said it's going to work? Last year I watched the Dallas Literary Festival online. I understand 2021 and 2022 are somewhat different. What's going on with you guys at the festival this year?
So last year we were virtual. This year the entire festival is in person. And it's not just the SMU Dallas Literary Festival. Well, it is, but what we've done this year is gone out into the communities with the libraries. The Dallas Black Culture Center, South Dallas Culture Center started today with the poetry workshop, and then it continues throughout, starting tomorrow with the Dallas libraries throughout the community. And if you want to find out about this, go to DallasLiteraryFestival.org, and you will see all of the events listed there. But also we have more than 100 national and local authors. They will converge on a series of in-person events March 18th through the 19th. And on March 22nd, we have Nicole Hannah-Jones at McFarland Theater on the SMU campus starting at 6:30. And before you ask me one question, Ed, because I hear you, on March 18th, we start at McCord Auditorium at SMU with David Shore, Native American author, and Dr. Damaris Hill, a poet. And then on Saturday, we start at 9 a.m. at the SMU campus, Dallas Hall. And our keynote is the record holder and Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson, former SMU football player. And we move on to the African American Museum on Sunday, which keeps in mind that university and community should be a bridge between university and community. And so our keynote there is a panel on the state of journalism featuring novelist Charles Blow, a New York Times columnist and Black News Network host, Charles Blow. So and then on Sunday, we are talking about reviving history, Dallas history, with the book, The Accommodation. But what's important is history will be on the stage, including Commissioner Commissioner Price, Mrs. Emma Rogers, and Mr. Jim Schutz. So we have a lot going on for you for the Dallas Literary Festival, something for everyone.
I am certainly glad I didn't interrupt.
I had that speech made.
You really did. I'm glad I did not
interrupt.
interrupt.
It's been a long time since we had a conversation because when my book Mourner's Bench launched, the first place I came was to your show, and you reminded me that I was your first guest. So
you were.
Here we are again talking literature.
Actually, you were. You're exactly right. I had the Mourner's Bench book out this morning. I'm going to be putting out all of my books, as you know, at Greyhaven. I put on Facebook Live this past week about redoing the library, and I'm having a specific room that just have all of my friends' books in it. And your book was the first one I picked up to put in there. So I appreciate
thank you very much. Obviously, I am the executive director for the Literary Festival, but like you said, I'm an author as well. And similar to Dr. Bledsoe, my novel holds the test of time because it's about the civil rights movement during the 1960s. And if anybody knows, we seem to be reliving history right now.
That's true. That's true. I was with Bob Ray Sanders, a journalist, retired journalist, always a journalist, and we were talking about how history has a way of repeating itself. And, we're just going through that era again. But, you know, history having a way of repeating itself, the accommodation, I loaned my accommodation book to Dr. Bledsoe, and when I loaned it to her, I said, do you know this book costs $1,000, Angelo? A book costs $1,000. $1,000. You go online, the book runs like $957 or something like that, $957 for the book. So she has my actual book. She had asked me, could I give her the link to have the book sent to her. I said, why don't I just give you the book itself? So you have Emma Rogers, Black Images Bookstore. I used to get lost in that place. Black Images Bookstore. I know,
don't you miss it?
I do miss it. I do miss it. I remember when she was at Wynwood Shopping Center. I remember when she had a stall at Wynwood Shopping Center before she had her standalone store. And she had two. And
you know what? Most people don't know, Ed, and that you need to come out to the African American Museum on Sunday to hear, is Miss Emma's role in this book, The Accommodation. And of course, it's not $1,000 anymore. Ed, Deep Ellum Books republished it, and you can get it for the regular price.
The regular price. I had Jim. I had Jim to autograph mine. He said, "Where'd you get this from?" I said, I got it when you first wrote it. You know, that book, The Accommodation, passed along, and my whole entire family, my father read it. I had people at work reading it. It was just a dynamic book. You're gonna have Jim on the stage and Commissioner Price on the stage too, the same time.
And Miss Emma Rogers is the moderator.
Emma Rogers is the moderator.
I don't want to miss that.
I don't. What time is that?
That is at 1:45, I believe. We'll see what the thing is. If you get there at 9 o'clock when we start, you know you will be there. And we're having it. Many of the events are in the gallery at the African American Museum. And if you haven't seen that, it's a trip just to come there and see what the African American Museum, the art they have on display. And also on display will be our artist, Rod Kazadi, who's a football player at SMU. If you open the website, you will see, the first thing you see is a picture of a young girl reading. And he is the artist for that. And he will have a show at the African American Museum as well. So there are many things that you will miss if you don't come to this festival. But the one thing I wanted to say, and Ed knows this, since I moved to Dallas, I've been involved with literature in Dallas, and I can see how it has grown by leaps and bounds. And most everything I've done has been to support literacy in the African American community of Dallas since I've been here. I started with the Tula Summer Book Fair,
Right.
which was located, the hub was the African American Museum. I know there's some of your audiences out there that remembers that. It gives me chills that I returned to the African American Museum with this SMU Dallas Book Festival. So I'm very excited about that, very excited about the events that are going to be at SMU as well, but even more excited that the community came together, the libraries, the culture centers, Texas Theater, all came together to support and hold events in honor of the Literary Festival. And one other thing, on Saturday night, in honoring the history of Deep Ellum, we will have a literary lit hop starting at 6 o'clock throughout Deep Ellum establishment. So stop by and listen to some literature in Deep Ellum, because it's no longer what it used to be, but I know they are trying to reserve the history of Deep Ellum, and you know all about that, Ed.
Right. So what time does that start?
6 o'clock Saturday
6 o'clock
night.
Saturday?
So the event for the Literary Festival ends at 6, and it starts at 6 in Deep Ellum. So we're just trying to cover North Texas with literature for about a week. And I think, that's not a long time for you to pick up a book. And everybody is represented in this festival. So whatever you're looking for, you can find it. And just don't look at the keynotes, because it's within the festival. We have an Oprah book club pick, Nathan Harris. Our own Talker president will be there, Terry Loftus. Just everything you see also has a local presence. We don't want you to think that we don't have great authors here in Dallas. So even though we've taken, in some cases, a backseat as moderators or interviewers, we still have a large community of award-winning authors here, like Ben Fountain. And then our own Amber Barbie Pickens will be in conversation with author Donnie, but you guys have to look at the website to find out, DallasLiteraryFestival.org. And this was brought to you by this one that I'm talking about with Amber Barbie Pickens, is is partnering with the Dallas Museum of Art. So you can see that we cast a wide net for this.
I see. You also don't go to sleep either.
Oh no! I guess I'm sorry. You caught me off guard with that.
You talking to the commission. I always catch people off guard like that. You did a what?
When I work. Yeah, this will let you know how serious I am about this festival. I would say that I've been putting in 18, 20 hours. That's what Ed meant by not going to sleep. And I feel that we who have come together to organize this festival, we have our thumbprint on this festival. We need one more thumbprint, and that's you, the audience, to show up and show the world that we love literature. But Ed, I forgot about one thing that I'm very excited about.
What's that?
Is Black Smoke. The author Adrian Miller has written a book, Black Smoke, and he's going to be in conversation with the owner, Brent Reeves, Smokey John's.
Yeah.
With Smokey John's, and then also Jose Relay of Texas Monthly. So that starts at 10:30 a.m. I know what time that starts. And I'm very excited about that. Adrian Miller is a food cookbook historian, and so we're talking about the history of barbecue. So who do you think discovered barbecue, Ed?
Well, my mother would say my father did, but who did this?
No, you have to come out to see, because I don't think you. Well, I agree with your mom. I saw that. I saw that Eddie Murphy was like, it's a fire.
Yeah.
Now that's a fire.
That's a fire. Roll them up.
All men think that they discovered barbecue, but if you just had a guess at it, who do you think? What culture do you think discovered barbecue?
I wouldn't have an idea. Who did?
You got to come out and hear them talk about it.
Well, I have
and
to.
not only. Go ahead, Ed.
I have to ask Brent then.
Brett, who does Brett take? Let Brett take a while.
Yeah, we'll let him do that.
Please. And I'll say if you're right or not. Because that means you got to read Black Smoke as well. That is the book.
So that's about Brent. That's
say?
about Brent's family. I got to read the book. I got to read the book.
Oh, you mean Brent? I thought you were talking about the guy at the radio station. No, but Brent's family has had a long history of barbecue in Dallas. And so maybe you'll find out. I can say that Brent's family is mentioned in the book.
Okay. Well, they have great food down there. They really do.
Yeah.
They really do.
And then we'll find out the state of African American barbecue as well. So that's. But not only is Adrian speaking to us for free. All these events are free and open to the public. That's why I haven't been sleeping at night. I had to raise enough money so that we can have all of this free.
And all they have to do is when I post it on Facebook or on Twitter, where you can follow me, Ed Gray 1906, you have to go ahead and actually register for it. Don't just look at the picture, folks. Actually register. It don't cost anything. Go ahead.
And Greg, and Ed, we are not going to turn you away. You can register right there at the door, but what might keep you from getting in is that these seats are filling up fast, quickly. And I know a lot of times we think that because things are free, they aren't worth it. But I can tell you that I've already put in the work for you. So all you have to do is come out. And let us not forget, we're going to close out on Tuesday, May 22nd, with the 1619 Project, Nicole Hannah Jones. And we have been hearing about banned books in Dallas, but this one is the #1 on the banned books list.
And I just read it last month, February. I just read it last month. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm also reading Eric Dickerson's book now. He signed my book at the Texas Theater when he was in town a couple of weeks back. So I'm glad he's back again. Pony up.
And see, I know then a lot of you come out then because it was so cold. I was over there. Sorry, I missed you. But Ed, you're going to be out, right?
I'm gonna be out. I was
that
seated.
has smoke in the title, right?
I was see. Yep, here's this guy smoking the title too, and I was with Dr. Robinson. That's the reason why I'm late for my own. Angelo almost had me fired from my own show because he said I was late, but I was late for a good reason. I was with Dr. Harry Robinson, and we were mentioning you in this interview. So we're glad that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the reason
Dr.
why.
Robinson and I have a picture of the first Tula Summit that I participated in and was a corporate sponsor with myself, Dr. Robinson, and Ms. Rogers sitting on the steps, the last step coming from at the African American Museum. So that gives me chills when I think about that we're going back. And this was Council Member Leo Cheney's dream, to have literary festival in Dallas. So I haven't lived in Dallas as long as you all have, but I've seen a lot of history since I've been here.
Yep, I remember Councilman Cheney. I remember him when he used to work at DISD. I was an intern at DISD, and that's when I first met him back in the 1970s. So, Yeah, that was his dream even then. So
Yeah. Well, then when I moved here, he told me about his dream, and I don't know. I'm a dream fulfiller. It was I took on the dream as well. And Dr. Robinson and Mr. Cheney wanted to leave a legacy of literature in Dallas, and just to be part of that, I'm like, I don't know if you could hear him in my voice, but I'm totally excited. But let me tell you one more thing that you guys probably have to look between the pages to see. Brian Cuban has a new book out. And if you don't recognize the last name, yes, that's Mark Cuban's brother.
Well, I have to
and the title of that book is The Ambulance Chaser.
I'm gonna have to call him. I'm gonna have to call him up as well. He's a friend as well.
And he's on Saturday at 1:45
Brian's
at
on?
Dallas Hall. Sorry, Ed.
He's up there too? Wow.
Yeah, man, we got everybody. We didn't leave anybody out.
And what day is that
That's why
on
I'm
again?
That's on Saturday, March 19th at 1:45,
All
right after Eric Jefferson.
All right.
So we're talking football, but I know Brian doesn't play
he don't talk
basketball,
about-
but that's close enough, right?
No,
Ed?
he's the Cuban that don't own a basketball team. So
Yeah.
that's what it's about.
So do you think his brother would be out it or not? I would be out supporting my brother. Wouldn't you?
We'll see. We'll see. But thank you for calling in.
People, you never know. You never know.
Thank you for calling in, and thank you for supporting my daughter. As you know, she has her play coming up at AT&T Performing Arts Center March 31st. It debuts March 31st. So
how long is it going to run, Ed? Because I'm so excited about that as well.
March 31st through April 6th. She's going to be here in the studio on Monday.
Oh, okay. And what's the title? What's the title of the play? Because we all want to get out to see it.
You know what? It's called Rage.
Oh.
And I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna get. This is your day. We're gonna talk about the.
I'm gonna
literary
wait for
festival,
her, but I'm
we're gonna
excited
tag
about
you
that as
for
well.
that.
Ed.
We're gonna tag you for that on Monday. So all right.
Definitely.
Okay.
And then I just want to remind Ed, you can start at the libraries tomorrow. You've already missed today, but the main events start March 18th through the 22nd. So I'll be expecting to see you at Dallas Hall, on SMU campus, or at the African American Museum. And I think this is a great merger between the community and university.
We've been working on it a long time. We're gonna make it do what it do. ×2.
Thanks, Ed. This kind of like a civil rights movement,
Yeah,
right?
it
Getting
is.
literature up and running in Dallas.
That's what it is. All right, thank you.
All right.
I appreciate
Thank you, guys.
All right.
And I look for you at the festival. Thanks, Ed.
All right,
Bye-bye.
not a problem. Bye-bye. All right, Commish Radio Show. We just came out, we like I said, like a Tyson fight, right? Just come out hitting, boom, boom, boom. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to, like I said, we're going to conclude with the show. But keep in mind, this is community. When I talk about community, it's our community. So if you have, if you have some projects, you have some missions that you want advertised here, give the commission a phone call. You got my number. We're getting ready to play some music, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a couple of things in the broader community. We're going to talk about some things in D.C. that affects you and me. All right? We'll see you in a second.
This is John Creuzot, your Democratic candidate for District Attorney for Dallas County. Thank you to the Commish and Ed Gray and the Commish Radio Show.